Snipers in Nerf do exist, you just need to have the right blaster. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this homemade blaster known as Spamfest. So to start the video off, this blaster was built by Spectres Nerf Mods, or Liam's Nerf Mods. He's also the mastermind behind Vulture, videos in the description, very old video if you want to go watch that. And he's also made this blaster, and it is now mine, so let's do an overview. So I've had Spamfest for a while now. A bit of work has definitely gone into her. She's definitely a very different looking blaster now compared to what she once was, and a lot more practical blaster as well. So let me go everything from front to back and tell you what I've done. So to start on the front, this is my homemade scar barrel. So just a bit of scar barrel talk now. A scar barrel is pretty much a rifle barrel at the end of completely sealed breech blasters, and we put fishing wire through it, we thread it through, and when the dart flies through the fishing wire, spins the dart, making the darts a hell of a lot more accurate. If you're on the fence about scar barrels, trust me personally, they work amazingly. They're insane. If I can make one at home just out of some PVC and some fishing wire I bought at the shops and see insane improvements from FVJs, Elites, Nipples, Steffens, any dart, definitely consider picking one up if you've got a closed breech system. These barrels will only work on Springer and air blasters because it is a closed sealed breech. Flywheels, I'd like to see that. And that just slips over the front there and holds on pretty well. If you want to see a tutorial on scar barrels, let me know. I can definitely make one. Very easy mod. And that slides over this 16mm aluminium tubing, and this runs from here all the way back to about here. That is a good 40 centimeters worth of barrel, and then on top of that we have the scar on the end. It was originally, when I received Spamfest, a CPVC conduit barrel, but I converted it to the aluminum because style points. He doesn't want a metal barrel, and also I think it is increasing some performance. I'm not too sure. It is a lot smoother on the inside, so see, I'm not really going to compare the two, don't really have time, but it's pretty cool. Moving back now, this is the pump grip. So the way you function this blaster is you'll prime back, and let's take my mag out so I don't double load, and then prime forward and you're ready to go. That's as simple as it is. It's pretty much a pump action Recon or an Alpha Trooper in homemade style. So the pump grip is a long shot front gun pump. So the pump from the long shot front gun, picture up here, is pretty much you're holding onto and priming the blaster with. At the back here, I've added in an acrylic plate so that when you prime your fingers back, your fingers aren't going to slip off the grip and you've got something to rest your fingers on and prime back the blaster. That's just screwed on the back with some stock Nerf screws. Held on there for a good while now, so don't need to worry about it. On the front here, these are held in with massive Phillips head machine screws. They aren't coming out anytime soon, and definitely hold the pump grip on there nicely. Actually missing one. Moving back, this is all barrel and pump area for the blaster to function. Getting back here, we get to the middle, and this is where the Recon parts come into play. So this is the bottom section of a clear Recon. So a clear Recon is out there in the bin because all Liam needed, or all Spectre needed, was just the bottom half of the mag wall and the handle. That's all he used. And the homemade is literally bolted onto the top. It's so funny, but it's such a sick blaster. So it pretty much functions like a normal Recon blaster. You've got the handle back here, here's your trigger here, and mag release comes straight out like that. Mag in, perfect. Works exactly like a Recon. Everything's lined up beautifully. Then these two pillars here are screwed into the Recon, which holds the whole top assembly onto the base Recon. So then, awesome quick reloads, like that. As you can see, it's still so simple, it feels so smooth, the action's amazing, it's really sick. Moving back here, this whole area here is the plunger tube. So that is a lot of air. It's longer and I think a little bit bigger than a long shot's plunger tube. So there's a lot of air in there, so much power, it's insane. Here is the bath plug plunger head. So that is a bath plug in there. It's the perfect inner diameter for the CPVC here, which acts as the plunger tube and the outer housing for the blaster. Coming back here, the black is the plunger rod. And surrounding that is a full length K26, massive spring, fully compresses when you prime back, completely compresses, and that goes into the back here in a rainbow catch. And then that's drilled through a sheet metal plate because this is going to be having some force when it slams up against it. And then a lipless plunger, there's another seal there to keep all the air stuck in here and forced out the front of the blaster into the dart. And then on the back here is the newest addition that I added to Spamfest. Spamfest originally had a Recon stock on the back. Now it looked really sick, not judging Liam on that. It worked. It protected the rear of the plunger rod from coming out and jabbing you in the arm. That's pretty much why it was there. But I was trying to think of a way to make it better, hold on there stronger, and it was really hard to do. And then one of my mates just said, why don't you get a clear deploy? And my brain just went, I was so like caught off guard. I was like, wow, that is the smartest idea ever. So slapped a deploy stock on the back and it looks so sick. It makes an awesome profile to the blaster. It's amazing. I don't care that a deploy is now in the bin. It's a deploy anyway, even though it is clear. It looks absolutely sweet. And then up here, this is the deploy rail. I've just bolted it through these two pillars here to add that nice red dot on there. It gives me a good rail and a nice sight on there as well because this blaster is so accurate and you will see that in the firing test. Then down here is our trigger. I've got two springs down here and then as well as the rainbow catch forcing this back. A little bit of work had to be done on the catch area, but very happy how it turned out. Well worth the work because now it is working beautifully. I love the clear look of the blaster, trying to get as much clear piping and parts for this blaster as I could to make it look as clear as I can. It might not look the best, it might be a whole mishmash of colours, but the general idea of keeping stuff clear has definitely worked through this blaster and definitely saves me from trying to paint this because that would be a pain. Because it pretty much is just a homemade blaster that is bolted on to a Recon half magwell and handle. That's all it is. Now this is hitting well into the high 100s. This is an absolute powerhouse of a blaster. For a primary, this thing is shooting absolute lasers, especially with that scar barrel, keeping the groupings nice and tight and dead straight, as well as pumping out all the power it can. I'm hitting about 180 on a high with this, and that consistently is what I was looking for when I was trying to get a long range NIC blaster. I seen this pop up and I was all over it. Did not even want to have to try and fight for it. I just went in there and got it because I knew putting the time into an LS, yeah, LSs are pretty cool, great blaster when you work at it, but everyone has an LS and this is something very special that I can call my own now and pick up in some insane tags. As you'll see from the gameplay coming up and also the gameplay that I uploaded last on my channel, this thing gets some insane ranges, picking up some awesome tags. So if you want to check out that, card in the top corner. So let's take this thing outside and show you some firing. Alright guys, so to demonstrate scar barrels, as you can see here on the end of Spamfest, is my homemade scar barrel. I have roughly estimated 10 meters away. So where that box is to where I'm standing now is 10 meters away. And I'm going to be taking 12 shots without a scar barrel from this 12 mag. As you can see, I've got two 12s loaded up, both with pretty much brand new FVJ darts. So I'm not making this as scientific as possible, but this is as good as I'm going to get results. So I'll fire off 12 shots without a scar, and then 12 with a scar. Now I've got my sight dialed in, I think, so we'll see how we go. Way above. Really hope it doesn't hit my phone. Now I'm putting my red dot on that white barcode. I really hope one does not hit my phone. And that's it. So now firing 12 with my homemade scar barrel. That was pretty close. That was also pretty close. That's a hit. Oh, that kind of counts. That's a hit. That was very close. That's a hit. Very close. Very close. And one more. Now, I know I can dial my sight in a lot better than what I've got it set up, but those were some pretty convincing results. So not very scientific, didn't really take in the equations of wind, the angle that I'm pointing it at, the outage of my sight. It's pretty dodgy, this sight, so that would definitely lead to some poor darts. Also, I was using mixed darts, as in usage of the FVJs, so there's definitely variables in there. But to demonstrate a scar that hit the box 3 times out of 12, and was getting very close to that box, then without the scar barrel that didn't hit it once, that's pretty damn good data. So quite happy with the results there, and that'll be it for the scar barrel testing. So guys, as you saw, this thing is shooting some insane ranges, high FPS, accuracy is absolutely impeccable, and I could not be happier with this blaster. This is my new NIC primary. This is going to be in my arsenal for such a long time. Don't even want to think about getting an LS because this is absolutely perfect. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's definitely enough for me. Picking up tags with this I find extremely easy because of the groupings from the scar barrel, the accuracy, the power. Love it. It's such a good blaster. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. I know a few of you guys wanted to see this blaster after my gameplay video. I hope now you've got a good look at it and you know what I'm going to be using for when I play my NIC games. If you want to catch up with me when I'm not making videos, check out my Facebook and Instagram links in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.